Hello students, in the previous classes we studied about the recombinant technology and also how to separate the DNA fragments by using agarose gel electrophoresis and also the tools of recombinant DNA technology. What are the different tools of rDNA technology? Restriction enzymes to cut the DNA, polymerase enzymes to get multiple copies, ligases for joining the foreign DNA with vectors and also the host organism. Inside the host organisms, this foreign DNA, that is our desirable DNA with desirable genes, will multiply. Here in biotechnology, what we do, first we cut the DNA with the desirable genes. We select that DNA and we need to introduce this into the host. Why? Because when the host multiplies, this desirable DNA also will get multiplied and we will get the products of the desirable gene in large scale. But it's not possible for us to directly inject the desirable gene into the into the host. For that we need a vector. These vectors, they transfer the desirable gene or the foreign gene or alien gene, we can name them, this foreign gene into the host. And these vectors that we use in biotechnology are mainly plasmids and bacteriophages. These plasmids, they are circular, autonomously replicating, they are in circular shape, and autonomously replicating means they can replicate by themselves without the control of the DNA, main DNA, and extra chromosomal, not along with the main chromosome, they are away from but inside the cell. Extra chromosomal DNAs. And then bacteriophages are viruses that infect bacteria. These two can transfer the DNA into the host. They have the capacity to transfer the DNA into the host. That is why we have selected plasmid as well as bacteriophage as vectors. And these vectors should have some special features. All the vectors should have origin of replication. It is the place from where the replication starts. Replication means many copies will be formed. And then this vector will have genes. These two are the genes responsible for antibiotic resistance. They have the capacity to resist the antibiotics like ampicillin and tetracycline. And also we ligate the foreign DNA in any one of the tetracycline gene, any sequence, between any sequence of this tetracycline resistance gene or ampicillin resistance gene. The ligation of alien DNA is carried out at a restriction site present in one of the two antibiotic resistance genes. For example, we ligate a foreign DNA at BAMH1 site of tetracycline resistance gene. This is tetracycline resistance gene. It is a place at which we ligate the foreign DNA. When we ligate this foreign DNA here, this gene will lose the property of resistance against tetracycline. This point is very, very important. When we ligate a foreign DNA, then this gene will lose its capacity to resist the tetracycline antibiotic. But this vector will have the capacity or the power to resist ampicillin. This is ampicillin resistant gene. It's not disturbed. Only here this tetracycline resistant gene is disturbed. That means we ligate the foreign DNA in BAM-H1 site in tetracycline resistant gene. Now this plasmid is a recombinant plasmid because it has the foreign DNA in it. Now it will lose the tetracycline resistance due to the insertion of foreign DNA. And this tetracycline resistant gene and ampicillin resistant genes, these two are selectable markers. Their function is to select the recombinant from non-recombinants. What are recombinants? Recombinants are the plasmids with foreign DNA because we need that foreign DNA only. We need the foreign DNA to get multiplied. And then the non-recombinants are the plasmids without this foreign DNA. And also transformants are the host that has this recombinant DNA inside. And then non-transformants are the host without this rDNA inside. Now we want to select the recombinants only. We don't want these non-recombinants. So how to select? First they plate the transformants on ampicillin containing medium antibiotic. So they plate the transformants on ampicillin containing medium. And after that they transformants growing on ampicillin containing medium. Some transformants will grow on the ampicillin medium. They are taken and then they are transferred to the medium containing tetracycline. Now the recombinants will grow in ampicillin containing, because in ampicillin containing medium both recombinants and non-recombinants will grow, because both recombinants and non-recombinants, they have ampicillin resistance power. So in ampicillin they can grow, they have the resistance power against this antibiotic. But this recombinant plasmids, they cannot grow in tetracycline because by the insertion of the foreign DNA, it lost its power to resist tetracycline. Now, so recombinants will grow in ampicillin containing medium. Non-recombinants also will grow on the medium containing ampicillin, but these recombinants cannot grow on tetracycline medium, but non-recombinants can grow in tetracycline as well as in ampicillin. In this way, we can select the recombinants from the non-recombinants. Now, in this case, one antibiotic resistance gene, which resistance is the antibiotic resistance, that is ampicillin resistance gene. This ampicillin resistance gene helps in selecting the transformants. It helps in selecting the transformants, whereas the tetracycline resistant genes, it gets inactivated due to the insertion of foreign DNA at BAM-H1 site. And this helps in selection of recombinants. This tetracycline resistance gene, it helps in selection of recombinants, and ampicillin resistant genes, it helps in selection of transformants. But this method is a very difficult one, because simultaneously we have to plate these transformants on ampicillin as well as in tetracycline, two antibiotics. So it's very difficult process. So another alternate method is discovered. Another selectable markers. These two, ampicillin and tetracycline, are resistance gene are selectable markers. Now another selectable markers, the scientists nowadays started to use, that is beta galactosidase. So alternative selectable markers have been developed, and these alternative selectable markers can differentiate recombinants from non-recombinants on the basis of their ability to produce color in the presence of chromogenic substrate. In the presence of chromogenic substrate, it can produce color. This beta galactosidase, it can produce the color. That is its property. But when we introduce this rDNA into the coding sequence of an enzyme beta galactosidase. In the coding sequence of the enzyme beta galactosidase, if we insert the rDNA, this beta galactosidase will become inactivate. That due to insertion of rDNA, the beta galactosidase will lose its power to form color with the chromogenic substance, to produce color with the chromogenic substance. That process is known as insertional inactivation. When we insert rDNA into the coding sequence of an enzyme beta galactosidase, it becomes inactivate. It cannot produce color in the presence of chromogenic substrate, and this process is known as insertional inactivation. And then the presence of chromogenic substrate gives blue colored colony if the plasmid in the bacteria does not have an insert. If the bacteria does not have an insert, that is, it does not have the rDNA, then it will produce blue color. The presence of insert, what is the insert? rDNA results into the insertional inactivation of the beta galactosidase, and the colonies do not produce any colors. And the colonies that do not produce any colors are recombinant colonies. In this way, the recombinants are selected from the non-recombinants. This method is very easy, better method than the previous one, that in which we used antibiotic resistance genes. Thank you, students.